Hey guys, so today I'm going to be reviewing the new iPhone 5 that just came out. So I'm just going to hop right into it. The first thing is, the dimensions. It's obviously a little bit taller, a little bit thinner, and a little bit lighter. So to be exact, it is 0.37 inches taller, 0.07 inches thinner, and 95 ounces lighter. So when I first picked up the phone, I noticed that it's a lot lighter. So like if you compare it to the iPhone 4 or 4S, that 0.95 ounces does make a huge difference. I kind of like the iPhone 4 just because it's a little bit heavier and you can kind of feel it more when you're holding it. This one is really light, kind of feels like a toy sort of, even though it's an advanced piece of technology. But if you like lighter phones, this is a lot lighter. A little bit taller, we got the half an inch extra screen, but the actual phone itself is 0.37 inches taller. So it does make a difference. It's very helpful when you're scrolling through things, looking at whatever you're looking at. It's just, the screen is just longer, so it's nicer to have. The A6 processor, the new processor for this phone, is definitely faster. It's nice to be able to not have lag when you're doing things. So definitely very nice to have that. The new iPhone also has 4G LTE on it. It's not in all areas, depending on your carrier. But if you're in a big city, well, for AT&T, if you're, over here on the West Coast, there's pretty much 4G all in the Bay Area. So it's definitely faster. It's nice to be able to watch HD videos on like YouTube, or if you're just surfing the web, whatever. It's definitely faster. It's noticeable. So it's great that they actually finally added this to this phone. So like I said earlier, the screen is 4 inches instead of 3.5. That's diagonal. The pixels are still the same. It's 326 pixels per square inch, but the actual resolution on the phone is 1136 by 640 resolution. So it's a little bit different from the 4 4S just because it's a bigger screen, but the dots are all the same. So the color on the screen is a little bit different. I kind of like the old one better. I thought on the 4 it's more. It seems like it's more bold, more crisp. This is just it's a different, I don't know how to explain this. It's like a different color, it's still nice looking, but I think I prefer the 4 more than this one, but it's not like it's bad, it's just different. So there's now 5 rows of apps on the new iPhone 5. Definitely useful if you have a lot of apps. I don't have that many apps, but if you do, having that extra row is helpful, so you don't have to swipe so many times to get through your apps. So definitely a plus on the phone because it is a little bit of a bigger screen. It also has a new SIM card. It's called a nano SIM card. It's smaller. So if you're if you have an old iPhone, you're not going to be able to transfer your old micro SIM card to it. So that's kind of a bad thing. But the new ones are supposed to be faster and they access things faster. So I guess it's inevitable that when you upgrade in technology that things are going to get smaller and faster. So just one of those things you kind of have to deal with. iOS 6 is preloaded on the iPhone 5, and Siri is supposed to be upgraded, so let's test this out. Is there an Oakland Athletics game tomorrow?
The Athletics-Yankees game is tomorrow at 10:05 a.m.
So it looks like it has been upgraded. It does things like this now, but there's still nothing like talking to another person, so watch this. When is the NHL lockout supposed to begin?
NHL regular season goes from October 11th, 2012 through April 13, 2013.
So I didn't ask when the regular season was supposed to start. I was asking when the lockout was starting. The NHL might not even have a season this year. So anyway, just demonstrating that Siri can't answer everything, and it didn't really answer my question. So it looks like it's upgraded, but like I said, there's no comparison to talking to an actual person. Another thing that was upgraded in iOS 6 was the maps. As you know, Google's contract ended with Apple, so they basically redesigned their entire map system. So I thought it worked fine. You now get Siri as a GPS, talking to you. So your phone is basically like a GPS. So here's what it looks like. You can just basically you swipe each direction, okay? And then there's an overview, which gives you basically a bigger overview. And then if you want to see a list of where you should be going, there's a little button down here, and it tells you you know, the entire route that you're going. So I thought the GPS, you know, not Google Maps, but like Apple Maps, I should call it, worked fine. There's also a 3D view, which was, you know, if you want a 3D view, which is cool too. You know, all in all, compared to Google Maps, there's kind of subtle differences if you just use it to get from place to place. If you're like super techie and you want to see like the buildings and things, I don't think they have that yet. They haven't, you know, uploaded that or whatever. They're still working on that. But if you just needed to get it, you know, from point A to point B, and now you get a Siri talking to you, I think it works fine. So it's definitely a plus for the phone. I think one of the most talked about things on this phone was the panorama view. It's absolutely awesome. So what you can do is go 240 degrees all the way like this. The pictures are really good. I think they're really cool, and they kind of give you like a little fisheye type of deal on there too. So definitely a plus to have if you're taking, you know, if you want to get like a super wide angle picture. Very cool. You can do it either way. You know, if you look on the screen, there's an arrow and it'll tell you which way to go, or you just press it and it'll flip it for you. You can only do it on the back camera, not on the front-facing camera, so just an FYI for you. The front-facing camera is now 720 HD and 1.2 megapixel camera, super nice as well. The video stabilization on the front-facing camera is really good. I really like that, so here's a clip of me, I guess, just messing around with the front-facing camera. So bright out here. But anyways, here's your test for the 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera. Okay, so basically it looks, you know, it's 720 HD, so it's really nice. And then the pictures are actually pretty good too, 1.2 megapixel, much better than that VGA, you know, garbage from before. I was waiting for this feature on the phone, so I'm really happy that it finally has like an HD camera on the front. So you can now actually focus while you're recording. So what you would do is you would basically just tap the screen where you want to focus, and then you can take a picture while you're recording. And those pictures actually come out a little bit more widescreen than the normal pictures if you're just shooting pictures. So I thought that was kind of a plus. So finally, FaceTime on 3G has come to the iPhone 5, you know, or 4G or 4G LTE, because the phone has it now. The picture is fine. It's now clear and still in HD, but it is a little bit laggy because, you know, you are uploading a lot of data through your carrier's network. Also be aware that some carriers, you might not actually be able to use this feature unless you pay for a separate data plan, which I think is ridiculous, but it is what it is. A new feature on both the cameras on the iPhone 5 is face detection, so it'll automatically detect your face when you're trying to take pictures, which is very convenient. You know, it focuses right in your face. You don't have to try and tap the screen to focus, so that's really nice. Besides that, I believe the 1080p camera on the back is pretty much unchanged. The only thing is improved video stabilization. So I took some videos and pictures from this camera, the back one, just so you can see. So check those out. Super clear, really nice. You know, took some pictures of some bushes, but you know, still really clear and really nice. Another new feature this go around are Apple EarPods. These things are definitely really nice, much better than the earbuds from before. The sound is a lot more crisp, a lot more bold, and a lot more clear. So it's just a really nice accent to a really nice phone. I think the only one thing I didn't like about the EarPods is the shape. When you put it in your ear, it doesn't feel like it's as secure as the old earbuds. So I didn't really like that about the EarPods. But you know, overall, they work really well and they sound really good. And of course, another big thing that's been talked about with the iPhone 5 is the Lightning connector. So this new 8-pin connector is a ton smaller than the old 30-pin. It goes in either way, so you don't have to fuss with, you know, trying to find that arrow and putting the 30-pin into your phone. Just grab it and plug it in, you're good to go. Obviously inconvenient because if you have any other Apple products, you're not going to be able to use this unless you get one of those like $30 adapters. But you know, technology is always advancing, so it was inevitable that this was going to happen. So I didn't notice that this one charged any faster. If it did, it was negligible. I was hoping it would charge faster, but it doesn't. So, you know, another new feature, 8-pin Lightning connector, and it works fine. Just kind of inconvenient if you don't, you know, for everything else that you have that's Apple. Overall, the Apple iPhone 5 I think is a great phone. Doesn't have the super latest and greatest, but you know, Apple doesn't really work like that. They're always trying to catch up because they want to make sure that their products are, bug-free and they are super stable, and that's definitely this phone. There's a lot of great features for it and not too many cons. So, if you're looking for a nice stable phone that's going to last you and is fast, this is definitely it. I would definitely recommend this phone. If you're not looking for something that has a super huge screen, it's a lot lighter, which is nice. So, I hope this helped you, and happy shopping.